Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 10 of 365 or Bust. I'm your host, Kid Naka. Played Happy Wheels the past 2 days. I apologize for the audio in the second video. I was trying out a new audio technique. You might notice that I'm starting to sound a little bit like one of the older videos. You can actually see my microphone behind me there. That's because I'm trying to change things up a bit. I'm trying to see what works, what doesn't work. I've got a mixer, I've got a headset, I've got that mic, I've got another mic, I've got all this crazy stuff that I'm trying to figure out what works best. So until I firmly know what does work best, I'm going to be trying a lot of different stuff. And I apologize if the audio sounds wonky. I'm sure the video still looks pretty good. It seemed to look pretty good in all the other videos, so kind of happy about that. But what I wanted to talk about today are three big things in gaming. There have been a few things in gaming that they've been talking about over the past few days. Wasn't able to really cover them. One came out Tuesday morning, one came out Tuesday morning, another one came out Tuesday night, and then finally Tuesday afternoon another thing came out. The first thing I want to talk about is Pokemon X and Y. The first 3DS versions of Pokemon are coming. They are going to be Gen 6. We are going to get new Pokemon, a brand new region, and personally, from what I could see about it, it looks awesome. I love the Pokemon franchise. I'm a huge fan. In the video, the trailer was great. The big thing about this is, though, worldwide release. It will be released in Japan, the Americas, and Europe all at the same time, which makes me really, really happy because before the new Pokemon would come out in Japan, you'd be waiting 5 months, then you would get it, and everybody would already be ahead of you. For the first time now, everybody's going to be on the same playing field. Everyone's going to know the game when it comes out. Makes me extremely happy. I'm not going to have to worry about spoilers, which was something I had to worry about with Black and White and everything else, and it was just annoying. But the Pokemon look awesome. The starters look pretty. The starters all look cool. The legendaries look great. Brand new graphics. They decided to go to. I don't know if a lot of people might remember it. The Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for the GameCube. They pretty much copy and pasted that engine and then did 3D effects on top of it. It looks phenomenal. All the Pokemon look phenomenal. You get 3D Pokemon battles. No longer is it a 2D sprite that's doing the Final Fantasy back and forth. That's really blurry. But no longer are you getting that. It's going to your Pokemon interact a little bit better. Of course, there's going to be new moves, new Pokemon, new region. Looks like it's going to take place in Paris, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be the second time that we have a Pokemon game that doesn't take place in Japan, the last one being the last game. Anyway, moving on from that, we move on to the Steam Box. A lot of people have been talking about this. Basically, what Valve has announced is that sometime probably this year, it's going to come out with the new gen consoles. If the new gen consoles come out this year, expect it this year. If the new gens come out next year, like I think they probably will, expect them next year. But what a lot of people have been saying is they found a box. I'm going to have a link to the. I'll have a link to the image. It was a box about that big, and it had a ton of like USB ports, HDMI out, had all these different ports on it, and it was a computer that was made to look really cool. And a lot of people have been saying, well, this looks exactly like what the Steam box would probably look like. And Steam has come out and said that's not exactly what they're doing, but they have said that they did partner with this, and that is what a Steam box has the possibility of looking like. But still no official word on what the Steam box is going to look like, how it's going to work, and everything like that. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was a new DRM management patent that went out by Sony. I don't know if I think I might have talked about this in another video. If I did, I apologize. But Sony decided to apply a patent for what is pretty much a chip that goes on a disc. And what this does is it syncs that game disc with that console. And there are major problems with this right off the bat. The very first problem that I see with it is that what happens if that console breaks, or what if you're like a tournament organizer or something like that, and now your one game is synced up with your one console, and you have to remember that when you have 40 games, or like I said, your console breaks, and you get a new console. How do you get all of your? How are you going to be able to play that game with that console? It's something that really bothers me because the DRM thing has always been something about gaming. And this is purely on the fact, like, the gaming industry has something different. This isn't to combat piracy, this is to combat used game sales. And I think Steam has a much better idea on how it works. With Steam, you own your game. Your game is owned by you. And then you can have multiple people on that same. There's a Steam family thing that they have that as long as these people are connected to your family, then they can play your game too. But something that I really, really worry about, because when you start messing with the hardware, because that's all software based, and that is very easy, and it's very easy with stuff like Steam and Xbox. To manage your DRM, and it's not really an annoying thing. It's just a thing. The problem that you run into is with this sort of thing. Now my game is no longer, it's not mine to control. If I want to pass my game off to my friend and go, hey, this is a game you might like. Here, play it. I can no longer do that. They would get a game that they can't play. I know that doesn't seem to happen anymore, but it really and truthfully does, especially with the younger kids. The younger kids love trading games. I see it in my neighborhood all the time. The little kids are running from house to house, grabbing games, bringing them to the other friend's house, going, look, we can play Super Smash Brothers. It's just one of those things that happens. And, of course, the other thing is that, let's say I go on vacation. I know there's going to be an Xbox there. I'm not going to take my Xbox. I'm going to take my memory card and my game and go play Xbox, on that Xbox. And I don't need to worry about that, where with this, I need to worry about that. I can't do that. Like I said, small gripes and a few big gripes, but it'll definitely be something to look at as time goes on. So, in the comment section below, tell me, what's your favorite thing that you've seen so far at CES? I've seen a bunch of different things. I didn't cover, there's the virtual reality glasses that they came out with. There's new HDMI. They're talking about, these giant freaking displays that are going to be like, have a resolution of, like, instead of 1080, it's like 21. It would be 2160. We're starting to see those displays show up. Absolutely insane stuff. So leave a comment telling me what your favorite thing from CES was. Again, I'm going to do one of these a day, 365 or bust. And I'm going to do one of these a day, 365 or bust. Well, if you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you really like, subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow with hopefully more gameplay footage. Stop.